Hey everyone, Joey Altruda here, and thanks for checking out the goods today. That's right, guess what I got for you? You probably know already because that's why you're here. 25 years of cocktails with Joey. Yes indeed. In fact, I want to just tell you real quick. Here's what's going on. About a month or so ago, I was in my basement and I was messing around with a bunch of stuff that I had to deal with, and I happened to literally stumble upon and discover a box of unused Cocktails with Joey albums, okay, from my original release from 25 years ago. And back then was the height of CDs, and there was a stipulation I had made in my contract that they had to press 1,000 records, okay, at least 1,000 records. So there were only 1,000 made at the time of LPs, vinyl, and I found like a little bit over 60 of them. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing that I have these. So, and like right next to that box was a whole other couple boxes that were like Joey archives. And like, I have one of them right here, in fact. And I'm here with a couple friends. That's why my eyes are moving around so much. But anyways, I'm so excited because look at this. Joey archives. Like, what's Joey archives? Okay. Like 28 pounds of Joey archives. And I'm like, okay, haven't looked at this in a while. Oh, wow. Here's a postcard that was sent out back in the day, back in the height of Cocktails with Joey. This was a long-standing gig I had every week at the Lucky 7 bar on Vine Street with the small group Cocktails with Joey. It was endorsed by Levi's, my big endorsement, okay? And like, it was pretty cool because I always wore Levi's. I still do. Since I was a teenager, every day I wear my 501s. But that was Vine Street Bar and Grill before it was Lucky 7, and I saw Eartha Kitt play there, and Joe Williams played there. Everyone used to play there before it was Lucky 7, and now I got to take over the crown, Oh, here's an article. This is pretty cool. This came from the LA Weekly, and my friend Carlos Rodriguez came up with I don't know whether you can see it, I'm going to close it on the other camera, but it says Adult Beer Joy. It's an anagram for my name, because Carlos is really into that. He's a composer like Ellie Phil. But anyways, it was a whole preview of like the upcoming Cocktails with Joey ballet. You might not know this, but there was a whole ballet by the LA Chamber Ballet choreographed to the Cocktails music. I'm looking around here, finding, oh man, this is super cool. This is a study for the artwork for the Joey Altruda caricature that was in the whole booklet. And so here, the song titles are supposed to go here. This is made by Moochie. He's a very famous cartoonist and animator and director of feature-length cartoons and all kinds of stuff. But somehow the whole thing never made it into the thing, just like the raw caricature. But like, dude, this is frameable. I'm keeping this. But like, I was showing all this to my friends and they were like, you got to put all this together and let it be available for people. I mean, Kennington shirts. I don't know if you wore Kennington shirts when you were a kid, but they were like these crushed velvet velour shirts in the 70s. But they had they'd been making shirts for decades before that. And like they found this whole vault of vintage gabardine fabric, and they remade their vintage designs, and they hired me to be their poster boy. This is right in the whole height of the Cocktails revival thing. And this picture was taken by Herman Leonard. He's the most famous of all jazz photographers. You probably know his pictures if you like jazz, those photos from the 40s of like Billie Holiday and Dexter Gordon with all the smoke coming up, and Duke Ellington. That was where I met Herman Leonard, and we became lifelong friends after that. We got so much cool shit. I mean, gosh, pardon my French, but look at this. Another great illustration, okay? You know what this is? This is the interior of the CD booklet. This is the whole master drawing by Vanessa Wiley. She's a fantastic clothing designer and fashion illustrator. She busted this out and it became like part of all of my logos and my promo stuff. I mean, Oh, here's one. This was a whole magazine editorial photo shoot. This woman here was a young model at the time. Her name is Michelle Bainey, and we did this whole fashion editorial for one of the big, like, haute couture magazines. It was pretty insane. I mean, I'm gonna put all this stuff together and put it in a scrapbook. Okay. Here's one of the pieces of the music for Moochie's Jag. Okay, the theme song I wrote for Moochie, who had his 1967 Jag that we used to hit all the clubs in. Oh my gosh. All right, we used to go all the clubs, night spots, eateries, house parties in this Jag. So I wrote him a piece of music to like bust out when we're cruising around, like his custom made piece of music, and it ended up in cartoons and films and TV and like the movie Swingers. Geez, so many stories. I mean, oh, here's another one with both Vanessa's picture in it. I'll close up on that maybe. And like the Joey, once again, the woo, you see the Moochie's drawing of me and Vanessa's. Anyways, this was the press release, one of the press releases that people got. So I showed this to a couple people recently. We were Zooming and they were like, you got to put this all stuff together and make it available for people. So I'm like, all right. I put this together in a scrapbook. It's like about 30 pages with things like some of the tracking sheets from the original master tapes and other photographs and correspondence. Oh, there's a letter from Esquivel that he wrote for me that's in one of my scrapbooks. There's reviews from the LA Times, from the ballet, all this really cool stuff from the whole height of the Cocktails with Joey hype and hoopla, okay? And so I put it all together with the albums and made the Joey Altruda Cocktails with Joey 25-year anniversary collectible pack. Okay, it's only available for 60 people because I only have 60 albums available. So I urge you to, you know, if this is something you're into or have a loved one, a great friend, and Christmas is coming up, right? Anyways, like, act soon because they're not going to be here very much longer than, I don't know. It's my birthday. Guess what? It all coordinated with my birthday because we're going to have a virtual birthday cocktail hour together on Zoom with all the people who buy this, but also some of the behind the scenes people like Bob Wayne, the guy who actually engineered the recording and mixed the whole thing, and Willie McNeil, the drummer on it, Red Young, the organ and piano player, Chris Tedesco, the trumpeter, Jim Akamoto, the sax player, and maybe a couple other surprise guests as well, talking about like the making of and anecdotes and what was LA like back then in the club scene and the bar scene and the whole thing that was surrounding the vibe at the time. So that's all part of the package, and I wanted just to let you know this is what I'm up to right now, and it's just the very beginning of what I'm about to do in the future with releasing a whole lot of other things of unreleased music that's in my archives and storytelling and a lot of good stuff. I won't bore you with all the details right now, but anyways, it's great that you came here. I'm super glad to engage with you. I feel very, very deeply appreciative of you coming in and checking out what I got. So I'm going to tune out right now. I'm going to drop in, and hey, guess what? Ciao for now. I'll see you on the flip side.